People generate 5 IDs, you generate 50. But what's the difference and what actually matters? And this is the number one thing I see a lot of people mistaking for IDs. So I want to talk today about this. And again, I'm going to share you my screen, my iPad screen, so you can basically get, what's going on with this. The first thing you need to understand is that the mistake you do most of the time is like you think you need volume over quality, right? Because if I get 50 IDs, I'm pretty sure 99% of those are going to be good. Where if I get 50 IDs, maybe 5 are going to be good. Okay, if you think that 50 IDs is better than 5 IDs, you're actually wrong. I'll tell you, you're actually factually wrong. That's my opinion. It is good to get getting a lot of IDs is very, getting a lot is very important 100%. I will not tell you that, because getting 50 is better than getting none 100%, but it's also not the thing, because the more IDs you have, and this is the thing, the more IDs you have, the less you're gonna realize them. Why? Because very easy, very simple reason. It's because you get overwhelmed. If I'm not writing it right, don't worry, English is not my first language. You're getting overwhelmed, okay? And if you're getting overwhelmed, well, you'll realize less of them because you're confused. So the difference is that volume is going to confuse most of the time, where if you take the time for quality, you should be having a clear vision. This is very much the difference between both. If you're getting clear vision, you know how it's easier for you to know how to get those IDs into something realizable. Where if you don't know, you're just like, okay, for example, let's take it like that. For example, okay, I want to make reptile videos. Okay, I like reptiles. I'm making reptiles. Okay, I want to do this because it's my passion. I have reptiles. Blah blah blah. You have thousands and thousands and thousands of ways to doing it. And for example, let's say you want to make one video a week, which is 52 videos. You need actually, to make 52 videos, I'll tell you this. This is my numbers. Some people have more, some people have less, whatever. My numbers of getting 52 videos is getting 52 IDs. Or maybe 55 IDs. This is my top. I don't give more IDs. You might have more IDs on the way. So I think on a year, let's say on 365 days, and I put 52 videos out. Normally, I think on a normal year, if you take last year, for example, I originally had 25 IDs, if I remember correctly. And on those 25 IDs, I made 20 of them. Like real, 20 of them. And during the year, I got the rest, which roughly last year I went out on the reptile channel with like 80 videos, I think, almost 80 videos, 70 videos, something around those lines, maybe 65 to 75 videos last year. So at the end of the day, I got 75 videos, which is 75 IDs, okay? But for the 75 IDs, I go along the way. And how I went? Well, go watch a video about how I get IDs to better understand how you get IDs, right? But the number one mistake I see a lot of people doing, is say, I need 75 videos. I'm going to get 750 IDs, okay? But if you're overwhelmed by your IDs, how you're going to realize them? So if you want to realize 75 videos, I would drastically, I'm pushing you to give you the IDs, okay? I'm pushing you to get IDs. I'm pushing you to, write them down, record them, or whatever. But I'm gonna push you the other direction right now. if you get 750 IDs, you just have to sort them out directly. I don't know. Like, again, let's take the reptiles thing. You know, the reptiles video. A mistake I made that I talked about in the other videos, but a mistake I made is, okay, thinking that all my IDs are good, and you know, the how I would do the care guide based on theory, you know, that I would find information on. I thought it was a good idea. It was good. And on paper, it was good, but technically, it was not. So this is where, you know, you need to draw the line. At what point a good idea is also something that would not put you in a bad position. I'm going to write ID before we think that I said that good is bad position. You know, that's the thing. You know, that's pretty much what you need to understand, is that a good ID is not putting you in a bad position. Now, bad position is depending also, you know, you have bad position for others, and you have bad position for you. And this is very different, because a bad position for others will be, for others, it can be, for example, you know, that they think, who are you? Who are you taking for? Yourself for, okay? Who do you think you are? You know, and sometimes they're wrong, sometimes they're right. You know, it's all depending on who it is, what it is, blah, blah, blah. For others, it can also be of, you know, a thing that, you know, it's a bad position for you following them because, well, they themselves, they don't know. I really need to write down things on a more regular basis. They don't know. They don't know you know. Okay, for others, it can also be jealousy. They will say that your positioning is bad because they would never do it. Okay, then you have the bad position for you. And the bad position for you is putting you in a position where you don't know what you do. You don't know yourself, basically, what you're doing. Which is, at the end of the day, for those care guide theory that I made back in the days, was basically the thing, you know. I didn't know, I thought I knew at the time I was doing it, but now I didn't know what I was doing, basically. You know, I didn't know myself. It's also putting you in a position, for you, a bad position is also putting you in a way that basically your creativity decreases. Okay, because the whole goal is to get more creative, right? So if your ID gets you less creative, then isn't that basically against the purpose? That's the thing, because, you know, more, you know, if you get more IDs, you should get more creative, right? You should get more creative. Well, not all the time, because sometimes, for multiple reasons, okay, you know, you can, you know, why is more IDs bad? Sometimes more IDs is bad. Well, because it drains energy. It drains energy. What I mean by it drains energy is it drains the fact, you know, you get 75 IDs, for example. You need 2 IDs and you get 75 IDs. Well, instead of focusing and say, okay, what are the 2 best things I need now for being able to do what I want to do, whatever that is? Well, this. And you can get more than 2 IDs, obviously, but if you get 75 IDs, oh yeah, but I can do second. And at the end of the day, you have IDs, right? But you don't do anything. And again, we go full circle. You don't do anything. Okay, you don't realize. So we go full circle, I think, on this topic. So number 1 mistake, let's make a conclusion here. Number 1 mistake is thinking that volume is more important than quality. And I'm not going to tell you what is quality and what is volume for you, because it's very depending for people. If I have to talk about myself, if I need 50 IDs, if I get between 50 and I would say 70, I'm good. I'm not trying to get more, to get more. Maybe I will get more down the line, but we're talking here originally on day one. On day one. If on day one you need 50 IDs and you get 50 to 70 IDs, you're good. I will say it like this. Now, not everyone needs to get 50 IDs, okay? So, but this is going to be for another part and another video, because we need to go down what is a quality ID, what is not, and how you can get creative or not from that. So we're going to let that for another video, so it's far less, you know, it's easier for you to digest and to understand how those things goes.